Thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Then we had the further adventures of Roxanne and Liv, and Finn is just delighted. We had Braun Breaker, Penta, Sammy, and Dom in a King of the Ring match, and in the ring, very, very good match. There was a spot with Dom and Sammy that maybe if you're not a worker, you didn't notice it, but they have an idea. And, I think they eventually did what they wanted to do, but it was a massive struggle. And Sammy is furiously trying to get Dom on the same page. And I don't know what the heck happened, but they eventually pulled it off. It was he went for the Blue Thunder, and then Dom countered into Three Amigos, but Sammy countered the third one into another Blue Thunder. They got it in the end, so good for them. And then finally, LA Knight shows up, and he lays out Braun with the BFT, because there had been a deal with Braun in LA on SmackDown. Sammy hit the Exploder kick, got the pin. He's in the King of the Ring. Very good match. I have one complaint about this match. And it's not
another interference finish?
No, it actually irritates me way more than that. So there's two options when you are a wrestling promoter when it comes to referees. They either do what you want them to do, or they call it like it's a shoot, and if something goes wrong, whatever, okay? There's pros and cons to each. But golly, they're doing boom, boom, big spot, near fall, cradle. And then Penta hits the armbreaker on Sammy. He hits Sammy with the Made in Japan. And Dom flies in with a crucifix to try to steal the pin. And the shoulder's not perfectly down. So this ref has to be a hard ass. And he's like, nope, get that shoulder down. Get that. And finally Dom just gives up. He's like, screw it. And he just lets go to the next spot. And I was like, I get it and all. But we couldn't see that the shoulder wasn't down. And that just, the momentum of these near falls, it just grinds to a halt. It just, God, I hate that. Anyway.
It was one of those situations where they were fighting so hard to get it. I'm like, this has to be the finish.
Nope.
And then when Dom gave up on it, I'm like, all right, let's see what they come up with. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't the finish. Wouldn't have been the end of the world to make a quick 2 and kick out, but hey.
We had a segment with Nikki Bella. She's interrupted by Liv, who is unhappy that Nikki hasn't put her over hard enough. And so they go back and forth. Liv makes a comment about how, what did she say? Made a comment about, oh yeah, I've got everything you don't. Respect a championship and a man. Not exactly sure that one should have been brought up, but she did. And then Nikki said, I got it, you're angry, but what about your man? Who does he belong to, you or Roxanne? So they get all upset, and then Liv makes some comment about how Nikki will never be anything more than a reality show champion. And Nikki gets back in the ring. Liv immediately lays her out with the Oblivion and gets the pin. A lot of people wondering if she's going to main event Evolution. I don't think she should walk right in and main event Evolution. I wouldn't do that. But, I mean, they very clearly were talking about championships and tags. And if we're being honest, Liv and Raquel have done nothing as tag team champions. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Nikki and Brie come back and beat Liv and Raquel for the tag team titles, and then put over another team after a month or two. But, yeah. Jay and Gunther for the world title was the main event. And I was told in the afternoon, I tweeted it out to my ex-subscribers, I did not know the finish of this match. But I was told, what was the exact term that I was given? Something like, very interesting finish planned for the main event. And so I did not, I didn't know, and I didn't get it spoiled for me. Very interesting finish for the main was what I was told. So, I was...
It was clean. That's interesting.
Well, I was watching it, and I was like, what's this very interesting finish? Is Goldberg going to run in and set up the match with Gunther? Is there going to be interference? That wouldn't be that unusual. And the unusual finish was no interference, no cheating.
Straight up.
Gunther beat this dude clean in the middle with a choke. And I was definitely surprised. It was definitely interesting. But, remember when the Outrunners were really getting over? I'll talk about this after the break. Observer Live. Ay. Back here on the show. Hey, remember when those Outrunners were like starting to get over?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, put the titles on them. And then, they didn't put the titles on them. And then, about 2 months later, they really cooled off. And everybody was like, see, they shouldn't have put the titles on them. So I was like, no, actually, they should have put the titles on them. Because when an act is getting over, and, you could put the titles on them. If they cool off, you just take the titles off of them. I know some people wanted more out of Jay's run, okay? But, they made him the champion. He clearly wasn't going to be like a giant business mover. Or actually, the more accurate thing is he didn't need the championship. You think people are going to buy less of his merch? You don't think they're going to yeet for an hour next week on every show that he goes to? He doesn't need to be the champion. The people wanted it. You built it up for 3 months. You gave it to him at WrestleMania. He got a run out of it. He got some successful title defenses. And it's time to move to the next thing. And that's okay. That's okay.
What's the expression?
It's fake.
Don't cry that it's over. Be glad that it happened.
Exactly. It's fake. Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store. All of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees. F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts.